You gotta get the good deal.
Gotta get the Lutens. You know what I'm saying? Vicks. They've been around since even fucking Jesus took Vicks once he left the cave. Vicks vapor rub on your chest. You do a couple bong hits.
You want to put some vapor rub on my chest for me?
Not really. I don't do that type of shit. You got the wrong fucking guy. Go hang out with your little buddies over there in North Hollywood where they got the movie screens that guys fucking. I'm sure you'll find somebody to rub some vapor rub on your ass and your little asshole, and then they'll stick that dick in it, and it's all over the shop. That's old school faggotry. When they put Vaseline around, when they use Vicks vapor rub and they stick their fucking dick in it, that's called fucking... the dick of death. I don't know. Fire dick. I don't fucking
Mint
know.
dick.
Anyway, it was a great week. I want to thank Dean Delray for putting me on the show at the Avalon with Nikki Sixx and Rudy Sarzo and the guy from Anthrax. And it was just a great time. But I learned something that night. Number one, I went up there and I rushed through my material, but that's not what I learned. I learned that the last fucking 3 years I've been going through something. I don't know what it is. It's not a midlife crisis. It's not... Something has been missing. You know, I've added working out. And I try to, get involved in my daughter's life. And I got the podcast and the road. But the other night when I was at that show, something hit me that we had discussed on the podcast about a year and a half ago with Rudy. And it's not that I didn't buy into it. It's that I didn't think it was that important. And that's the element of live music. Listen, man, what we did growing up in North Bergen was go to concerts at Madison Square Garden. When these guys call in, Avillo or fucking Timmy the Teamster or these guys, we were blessed to have the opportunity to go to a lot of shows, man. And I mean, I went to see everybody from Kenny Rogers to fucking Iron Maiden. I didn't give a fuck. And I would go, and it wasn't... Something happened... Like in the mid-'80s, where I don't know. I don't know what happened. I became a criminal, and I didn't think the live shows were that important anymore. I mean, I had friends that lived for that shit. When the people I hung out with in Snowmass, when I first moved to Snowmass, you worked Monday through Friday. And Saturday morning, in the middle of the night, you left for Colorado Springs or Denver or, Fort Collins, and you'd catch a band live. These guys traveled. And I think I did it 1 or 2 times. I worked hard. I couldn't afford that shit no more. It was either between the blow and rent or fucking going to the Springs and watching a band. And these guys, like 19 of them lived in a 2-bedroom apartment. And they had moved to Colorado just to ski, And they all had 2 jobs. They all worked on the mountain in the daytime so they could get a free ski pass. And then they all worked at restaurants or bartending or security at hotels or at hotels at night. All of them. So they were all there, and it was the weirdest thing. 19 people in a 2-bedroom, sleeping bags everywhere, guys everywhere. They had like 3 girls that lived there from Minneapolis. They were all from Mankato, Minnesota. And it was just interesting how these guys lived there. And they partied during the week. If you went up there any night of the week, you could find somebody awake in a corner fucking smoking weed. It was the weirdest fucking apartment I ever saw. Nobody cooked there. It was clean. It was spotless. But it was 19 guys living up there in 3 rooms, basically.
Just because they wanted to party, though, the rest of the time.
Well, they figured at the time rent was cheap as it was. This is 83, 84.
Got it.
And they wanted to get the most out of life. And they felt that their home living didn't really matter. So that's what they fucking did. But anyway, while I was at that show that night, I did the show, and then what Dean did was he had everybody switch up. So one song, it would be Anthrax and this other guy and the drummer from the Black Crowes, and then the next 3 songs would be Marin, who I have to congratulate. Did a fucking great job on the guitar on Down Payment Blues. They did it a little on the edgier side. But what was really weird was Dean Delray. How much I thought about Dean since that night. Every fucking day I wake up to 6 or 7 messages on Facebook. And I answer them, as much as I can. But out of those 6 or 7 messages, it's 3 guys who would think they're pulling the wool over my eyes. You know, they want this, they ask for that, they want this. You know, you have to understand that I'm out there at night. I have my ear to the grind like everybody else is who's a comic. And when I don't hear your name and I hear you making requests and stuff like that, you're cutting corners in my world. And there's nothing that bothers me more than guys that think they can cut corners on my expense. I'm the type of guy that if I see you're hustling, I will give you any opportunity or do anything for you in the world. But if I don't know you, and I don't know if you're hustling, I don't know what the fuck you're doing, and you just hit me up demanding stuff, that's not right. You know, I have friends here, D'Agostino, Kate Quigley, fucking Lee. I got 10 guys that I know that are close to me that are out 7 nights a week, week after week. You know, I see them tweeting, I see them Facebooking, I see them replying to messages. I see these people working. You know, they have a podcast, they're always on time with their podcast. And these guys aren't selling out arenas and you don't know them. And you don't need to know them. The most important thing is that they're working. They work constantly. Listen, yesterday we got on the car picked me and Dean up at 4:15 in the fucking morning. We basically went to bed at fucking 12:30. We both got on the plane. I fell asleep for an hour. I don't even remember falling asleep. I got up, I went home, I picked up my daughter and my wife, went out to breakfast, and then I went home and I had to fall asleep for a few hours. I got up, I had to do paperwork, I had to answer a bunch of emails, shit like that from the 2 days that I was gone. I had to prep this week. And then, you know, I just stayed in with the family last night. I went out with Mercy yesterday in the afternoon. We went for frozen yogurt, and we stopped at this other place. Today I took her to cryptotherapy with me. She watched me froze. She took pictures. She couldn't believe there was snow in there. So, not Dean. Dean was fucking waking up. He was getting home to go home to take a nap, to wake up, to go do 2 fucking spots last night. And tonight he's got 3 fucking spots. You know, Dean isn't a name. Dean isn't somebody, but Dean don't stop. He moved to Hollywood so he could walk to the clubs, so he could have easier access to the clubs, so he could do spots every month. You know, I see Dean, if you went to this show, I applaud you, but you also saw what Dean put together. He put together great comedy, and he put together a great band all by himself.
We're going in like fucking Marines, you understand me?
Welcome to church, motherfucker.